Hi, welcome to the Get Ready with God podcast. My name is Julie Taylor, and I am your host. And I am not God, obviously. I'm not an expert. I'm not even a scriptorian. I'm literally just a girl sitting in front of a microphone, hoping God is real. The Get Ready with God podcast is the daily devotional podcast to help you see divinity in every day. Let's go. How about the state of the world? Things are hard right now, collectively, for everyone, because the state of the world is hard right now. And it has been this way for a while, but it does seem to be getting worse. But I have never been able to stop thinking about something. My friend Chelsea Christensen, who's wonderful, she was talking years ago about how hard the world was and how dark things were looking. And it was probably like pandemic times, and just how scary it was. And her teen daughters, she has twin teen daughters who are delightful, by the way. They worked with me on a project recently, and I just 10 out of 10. Teens give me hope. Seriously. These two specifically are magic. And so it's not surprising that they said something so transformational for me. And I don't think I've even told Chelsea this, but she posted this years ago. And Chelsea was kind of talking about how dark and hard the world was. They said to her, like, yeah, but this is the one we get. So we wish that people would stop talking about how bad it is. And I have never forgotten that. And I probably butchered it. But that sentiment of this is the one we get, so we wish that people would stop talking about how hard it is. That has come back to me so many times because I think that that is so poignant about the state of the world, but also about our lives. Like our lives don't go the way that we wanted. Very few of us get the life that we wanted or the life that we planned or the life that we hoped for. But this is the one that we get. So maybe let's stop fixating on how bad or hard it is. And you know that I'm a let it be as bad as it is person. In fact, my dear, dear friend who edits this podcast for me checked in on me over the weekend and she's like, are you okay? And it has been dark, and thank you for loving me through it. I do think that when you record a daily podcast, like you guys are going to be able to chart probably my periods, my mental health swings, my grief, but you're gonna see the highs and lows. But to me, it's the only reality I know is that sometimes faith comes easier than other times. Sometimes belief comes easier than other times. Sometimes joy and hope come easier than other times. I don't like to delusionally gaslight myself into happiness and gratitude. And so I think there's value in processing the hardship. But I do think there's this collective narrative right now that is very true and valid of the world is so bad. Because it is. I mean, the natural disasters, plus the political disasters, plus the cruelty and war and suffering is never been greater in my lifetime. And it is terrifying and it is anxiety inducing and it is crippling to know how to help or what to do or how to process worldwide trauma and also go to work on Monday. It's just it is a lot. And I know that's why we're talking about it. And I'm not dismissing that. But I also want us all to remember that this is the one we have. So what are we going to do with it? This is the life we have. This is the world we have. It's game on. I don't think that it is productive to sit here and talk about how things used to be, that they used to be easier, that they used to be better, that they used to be brighter. Okay, but that's not where we are. Right now we're here and this is our world and this is our life. So what are we going to do with it? And I understand that that's kind of oversimplifying it. I mean, not kind of. That is hugely oversimplifying it. And again, I don't say any of this to dismiss the reality of the horrific state of so many things. And I don't think that we should get complacent and just say, yeah, but let's just find the good. It's not, it's all of it. We need to figure out how to create change, how to cope, how to help. But I think that we're going to be more productive and more capable of doing that when we're coming from a place of hope and accepting reality through a lens of let's make this better than just telling ourselves over and over and over again how bad everything is. I have never felt empowered, inspired, or more capable through telling myself how awful everything is. And so it's not turning a blind eye. It's not pretending that it's not there. It's not ignoring it, but it's looking at it through a lens of this is our life. This is the one we get right now. This is the world that we get. This is the life that we get. And I know this is cheesy, but what are we going to do with it? And I don't think the answer is to sit and talk to each other about how bad it is. So when we think of the teens who are just being constantly told the world is so bad, the world is so bad, the world is so bad, how are they supposed to find hope and light and courage for the future if that's all we're telling them? That same thing applies to us. If we're only ever consuming and producing narratives of the world has never been worse, things are so bad, things are so terrible, we're not meant to live like this, we can't carry on, there's no chance that we're going to be able to productively help, change, or carry on in any type of meaningful way. I know in the religious world, there's a lot of talk of end of times and these times were predicted and we just need Christ to come again. I hear that a lot. We just need Christ to come again. Things are bad. We can't sit complacently and hope that Christ will show up and end this all. That is not our role. I don't know. I don't know that theology. I'm not going to touch on that. But what I do know is that believing in Christ is meant to be an invigorating call to action, not a complacent sit and just wait for everything to blow itself up. Discipleship is an action. It is a thing that moves us forward. It is a force for good and positivity and help and work and effort. It is not a sit back and just, yeah, things suck, so what are we going to do about it? Maybe it's true that the world has never been worse. Maybe it's true that there's never been more fear and darkness and awful stuff, but this is the one we have, so what are we going to do with it? I don't really have like prescriptive action. I think all of us are called to do different things. I know it's hard. I know it's so hard to live a normal life right now and to even know where to begin to help. I guess my point is, I don't think commiserating over how terrible things are is the path. I don't know what the path is, but I think that one's not it. So when you find yourself tempted to just lean into it's never been worse, Christ just needs to come, we just fight that urge and instead use your discipleship, use your faith, use your belief to ignite hope and motivate action and to fight for that inspiration to know what to do to make it better, to help people who are suffering, to help ourselves. We each have a role to play. I believe that God can guide you to know which one that is. It's okay if you need to lay on your closet floor in anxious, panicked, what in the world are we supposed to do? The world is so scary. How are we ever supposed to help? I get it. But you have to get up off the closet floor and take that next step. The world has never been worse, but there's also in so many ways that it's never been better. There is so much light. We have so many resources. Let's use those resources. Let's use the light. As darkness increases, so does light. I really believe that to be true. So the darkness is going to keep coming. The bad's going to keep coming, but we will be given and create more resources, more light to combat it. But we have to keep trying. We have to keep fighting. We have to expand this. And we do that through our own creation, our own hope, and our own light as we move forward. It's tough out there, but so are you. Okay, love you. Bye.